Hey everybody, I'm Ted from Tebex. In this tutorial we are taking a look at Multicraft, and more specific we are taking a look at the commands. Minecraft has a lot of different commands, and those commands can even have a lot of different attributes. You have generators that give you very long and complex commands that you can run in game. Tebex has its own commands with different variables that you can use, adding another layer of complexion. We can use Multicraft to store those long complex commands and make them shorter so they are easier to remember and run in game. When inside of your Multicraft panel, click on commands, and this is the page that you will see. These are all the built-in commands that will be here by default, except from one that I added myself. If you're unfamiliar with Multicraft, I would recommend looking at our previous video first and then continue here. Let's first of all look at admin say. First of all, we have to give the command a name, then a required role. Looking at the Multicraft documentation, you can also see exactly what roles exist and what permissions those roles have. Later on, I'll show you how you can assign those roles. So anything from moderator or up will be able to trigger this command. We then have a prerequisite. That is a command that has to be run before this command can be run. It doesn't really make sense because if you restart the server, it will save the server first. But for example, you could say only after you saved the world. You can then try to restart or restart if empty. In this case, I'm going to leave it on none. The message that the player has to say in chat, so in this case a say, the response, and this is something that can be whispered to the player, and then the actual command that has to be run. So if we look at the generator, this could be the very long command, and then the only thing you have to say is a say, and it will just run. Under the users panel, you can add other users and give them a specific access level and also a role. And this role will be used by the commands to see if you have the proper permissions to run that command. So let's take a look at the diamond armor set that I added. Required role, none, so anybody in game can run this command. Prerequisite, none. The chat command is arm give for armor give. The response is enjoy the diamond set. And this is the command that has to be executed. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this command. First of all, you can see that it's exactly the same command over and over, just separated with semicolons. So let's explain just one part of it. Give is going to give someone something. %n is the player's name. The name from whoever triggered this command will automatically be replaced here. Once again, from the documentation, %n is one of the variables that we can use. So in this case, it's going to say give Tebex Academy diamond boots. Then give Tebex Academy a diamond chestplate, etc. And you can see that if I now say arm give, you can see that the server gives me those 4 diamond armor pieces. And in the chat, you can see it also whispers enjoy the diamond set. Instead of running multiple commands, you can also allow multiple arguments. It's going to say Tebex Academy, kicking, and then the first attribute that we added, this will be the player that we want to kick. Inside of brackets, it will then say the second attribute that we added, and this will be the reason, and that is the end of the first command. So it's going to say Tebex Academy kicking Bob, or whatever the name is of the player, file language. Then the second command will kick in, no pun intended, and that is kick whatever the first parameter was, which is the player name. So this command will kick the player and also say in chat that the player is being kicked and why the player is being kicked. So let's do save. You probably want to change the roles. This is just a demonstration. So if I do kick message, which is our chat trigger, then I do Bob for duping. So kick message, player name, reason, and it says server, Tebex Academy, kicking Bob for duping. And if we change Bob to Tebex Academy, I should actually get kicked by an operator. This demonstrates how you can run multiple commands with different kinds of parameters, and even how you can run those parameters multiple times inside of the same Multicraft command. As you can see, there are even way more options to add complexity to your commands. You can run full scripts that you can set up beforehand with different placeholders. If you really want to, you can make this super complex, set it up once, and then just trigger it whenever you need it. And allow other people inside of your team or different players to also trigger those commands. I will link to this page below. This is a very long list of different kind of command generators that you can do inside of Minecraft Java. Using this in combination with Multicraft can give you some really complex results. As the last thing, let's try to use the admin say. So I'm going to say a say and then hello. And you can see it doesn't do anything. If I go to my console, it says command admin say not run for Tebex Academy 5 requires level 30. If I go to my player history, I can click on my in-game Minecraft name and it says here assigned to user. I'm going to fill in the username of my Multicraft account. If I now try to run it again, you can see that it's working. So it says server hello. Since I now have a high enough permissions level inside of Multicraft, it will just work. Those commands that we set up are not just available in-game or through the console, they're also available for the scheduled tasks. There are already a few tasks set up. So for example, every day it will make a backup, restart, and also give a restart warning when they are scheduled to run again and when they last ran. When we create our own tasks in the top left, you can see that under commands, our diamond armor set is here as well. This list and the list we had earlier are exactly the same. So for example, under commands, you could set up a admin command that automatically promotes your Tebex web store inside of the chat. Every 2 hours, every 3 hours, for example. You can run commands directly inside of Tebex. You can also use Tebex to trigger commands made inside of Multicraft. So you can get those Multicraft commands triggered once a package has been purchased or claimed. I hope this gives you a basic understanding of working with commands inside of Multicraft. I also hope it was helpful. If anything is unclear, feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching and good luck with your Tebex store.